everybody. I'm so excited to have you guys here tonight. Thank you for taking the time. We are absolutely mindful of your time, so we're going to keep this as tight as we can to only 30 minutes because we want to give you guys the answers and the info and everything you need to make a decision on whether this is something that could be for you. We're really excited to have you guys here tonight. We know that you have lots of questions. We hope to address all those questions for you tonight, but if not, please put your questions in the chat right now. We want to make sure that your questions are answered. Nothing is off limits. Like, we're super open book. We will answer all of your taboo questions. If you want to know anything, now's your time. Add it to the chat and we'll be sure to get to it. So first and foremost, what is a coach? And I think this is a super curious question. Even some conversations I had today, they were like, what does your day look like? Like, what do you do? And ultimately, being a coach is somebody who is supporting, cheering on other women, like leading their best life through health and fitness and going on all in on these health and fitness programs, and then sharing that and genuinely encouraging other women, men, people on their own health and fitness journey as well. We are not experts. We're not fitness pros. We're not nutrition experts. We're not registered dietitians, although maybe you are, and that's amazing, and you have a leg up and have so much value to add. But the large majority of coaches are regular women or men who have other jobs or who have taken other paths to get here and are now going all in on their own health and fitness and genuinely want to share that with other people. We also aren't salespeople. We're not sales experts. We're not sales associates. We really are sharing our journey, sharing what works well for us, sharing what we love in hopes to help other people on their journey as well. So what we love the most about coaching is that it's really number one priority is going all in on you, taking care of you, like friggin' win, and then helping other people with that as well. Building a community of like-minded people, women, men, whoever you are, and helping them on their own health and fitness journey as well. In that, there's also an opportunity to build a business of other coaches and help to mentor them on this journey. It is absolutely the best job I've ever had, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys tonight and share a little bit more about it. What we're going to do is we're going to have 3 coaches share their story and talk a little bit about why they started coaching and share their journey in coaching. And then we're going to go through some frequently asked questions, because in our experience, people have all the same questions, but they're too shy to ask them. So we will be doing that at the end, but we will be kicking this off first and foremost with Erica, who's going to share a little bit about her journey.
Hey guys, I'm Erica. I'm a coach with The Sisterhood. Thanks for having me on tonight. Thank you for all of you for being here. So my journey with coaching, it started about 2 years ago. And to be honest, before coaching was even a thing, my journey started with Beachbody and the programs. So I had been following Erin on Instagram. Erin and I didn't know each other because we both live in the same small town, but we have a lot of the same social circles, but we didn't actually know each other. But I had come across her Instagram account and I started following her, and I was super inspired by her, by the fact that she was a busy mom working full time and was making the time to do these programs. And for me, it just seemed so unfeasible at the time. I was in a super dark place in my life. I had been through some major losses, and I just was a fraction of the person I used to be. If you know me, I'm super outgoing. I'm extrovert to the max. I am a joy-filled person, and I wasn't that anymore. I was spending my days focusing on my losses and these things that had happened in my life, and I was in a dark place. So anyways, Erin had invited me to try these programs, and I said no. And then so many people, I decided New Year's resolution, I'm going to try this. So January of 2019, I reached back out to Erin. I'm like, okay, let me try this. And it changed my life. And I know I don't say that lightly. Honestly, guys, first it started by the physical change. My energy levels came back, and along with my energy levels, my emotional health came back, my mental health came back. And something huge for me was the community aspect of this, and learning that it wasn't just about doing the workouts, but it was about being part of a community. And honestly, these women in this community, in the sisterhood, taught me some strategies to find my joy again, a gratitude journal. I was okay, I never really heard of gratitude practice. So I decided to try it. And by starting to like look at my blessings, I was coming out of that dark place of like what I didn't have, and I was focusing on what I did have. And my blessings just started to multiply, and I just became so much more. Oh my God, I have goosebumps. Look at me, because I'm just remembering it. Like, honestly, guys, it brought me back to who I was. And so I was like a discount coach, or like a VIP member, we call them. Like, I had just fallen in love with the products and I loved what they were doing for me. So I was getting a discount on them. And people in my life started to see the old Erica back, and they started to see the like the spark back in me and the joy back. And they started to like ask me, well, what are you doing? Like, what have you been doing? What's changed? I mean, they saw the physical change as well, because I've lost like 30 pounds with these programs, but they also just saw the mental change, and they saw the spark back. And I wanted to shout it from the rooftops. I'm going to be honest. When they asked me, I thought, like, I've been doing Beachbody, and I'm part of this incredible community called the Sisterhood. And it's like so amazing. And we all work out on our own time when we want, like on our own schedules. And I'll never go back to a gym. And like, I just found myself kind of sharing authentically without like meaning to. So then people started to be like, okay, like I want to do that too. Like, tell me more about it. So I'm a teacher, for those that don't know. So I was like, oh, come to my classroom after school, like if you want to know a little bit more. And 17 people showed up in my classroom because they wanted to like get a piece of my pie. Like, what had I been doing? So I just thought to myself, like, okay, so I can like refer them to Erin, which is amazing, and she's an amazing coach, or I can just bring them into the sisterhood myself. Like, this is a community. It is a community. Like, I can bring them in this community myself. Like, if I can even inspire one person to find the change and the joy they can find in their life again, then maybe it'll be worth it. So I did. I took a chance. Like I said, I was already all set up to be a coach. I had no idea what it entailed, but I thought, sure, come join me. Come into the sisterhood. Let's see what it's all about. And that's how it started. And now 2 years later, I am so grateful. I'm so humbled. The community has grown exponentially. I am so proud of what I've created with my partner, Chantel. I am so proud to be a member of the Sisterhood Coaches. And it is by far the best decision I've ever made. And I am so grateful that it brought the joy back to my life. So thankful to be here. And now I'm going to pass it over to Milen, who's going to share her journey of what brought her to coaching.
Thanks, Erica. Oh my God, I feel like your story is so emotional, and mine is not going to be. So I'm just gonna like lay the stage now. So like, I will be totally blunt with you guys. I started coaching to make money. 2 years ago, I started coaching. I had already been doing these programs. I had lost 80 pounds. Like, I totally believed in them. They changed so much in my life. But my coach, who's also Erin, was like, do you want to coach this? Your results are insane. Like, you would be able to help so many people, and talking to me about all of these like beautiful emotional reasons why I should coach. And I was like, no, I'm good. Thanks. Like, I don't want another thing on my plate. But the piece for me that I was missing was, how much money can a coach make? And I know we're going to answer this in the FAQs, but I want to be really upfront with you guys, because that was my trigger and the reason why I ultimately decided to do it. At the time, I was a single mom. I had 2 young kids, and like, I am a successful businesswoman. I work for an IT company as a manager. Like, I make good money, but it still was really hard every month. And you know, if I had a really expensive like grocery bill, or my son's hockey camp started, like, it was tight, and I had to go into my savings, and the next month was really tight, and money was always a stressful thing. And so I remember going on one of these calls and hearing how much like income progressions of what coaches make. And that's when I was like, oh my God, if you are really successful at this, you can make decent money. And I had no intentions of doing this like full time or anything. Literally, I was like, if I can make $500 a month, that would make a massive difference to my life, and like basically pay for my grocery bills or my car payment, let's say. The very first week I started coaching, I made $0. Like, let's be real honest about like the ramp up period. It was not like instant success, even though I did go all in on this business, and I wasn't really planning on it, but like, I started, I learned from scratch, and I really fell in love, but like $0 on week 1. On week 2, and I just looked today at like my income progression, And I think we need to put like an income disclaimer because it depends on how hard everybody works, but I really just want you guys to hear what I heard and what helped me make a decision if like finances are a thing for you. So on my week 2, I made $151, and I was like, that is freaking incredible. Like, when have I ever done something other than selling my kids' stuff on like Kijiji that I just brought in extra money out of nowhere, and that paid for my groceries that month. So I've been coaching for 2 years. Last week was my biggest paycheck, and I made $2,600. Like, that literally freaking blew my mind. I'm kind of known in the group as like the not emotional, like really pragmatic person. And this morning I looked at my bank account and I burst into tears in front of my fiance and like shared that with him. So I'm sharing that with you because, you know, I think so many people would do this if they knew the potential. Now you have to work for it. Like, we're going to talk about all of that, but really it's made such a massive difference in my stress levels. I remember, like, I'm no longer a single mom. I met somebody, we've blended families. It's amazing. But like, I remember my fiance at the time having to pay for my half of our mortgage for like 3 months in a row. And he has always made more money than me. And I've always been somebody that's needed to be financially like secure, but it's always really freaking hard. And now we're at the point, like, he literally just texted me and was like, babe, since we have this extra money, like, why don't we redo our front room? I'm like, yes, like, let's do it. It's just the conversation is so different. And the level of stress that I'm seeing is so different. And so I'm sharing that with you guys. We're going to talk about, like, you know, what's required. There are some people that make a little bit of money. There are people that make a shitload of money. But it really is okay to jump into this business for the financial gains. And I encourage you to do that and consider that, because whether it's $100 or $500 or $5,000, it could have a massive impact on your life financially. So I'm going to pass it over to Erin to share her story.
Thank you so much. And congrats to you on the biggest pay week yet. That's super exciting. Like, I had goosebumps hearing that because I also just had the biggest pay week, and it was not that much money, but I literally like hit the floor. So congrats to you. I just wanted to talk to you guys a bit about why I started and kind of where I began my journey. So I started coaching as of this month only a year ago. So I'm still like kind of new-ish, I guess. But I started these programs last April, so a year and a half-ish ago. And I had a baby 4 days before COVID started. It was my second baby. And as COVID hit, I was just like drowning in the postpartum life and was at an all-time low as far as my health and fitness went. And I felt like hell. I was depressed. You know, I just didn't want to be doing. And I found these programs, and like Erica mentioned, like, I started doing them and I just immediately felt so much more energized and confident and proud and all the things. Like, if you're doing these programs, you get it. But very quickly, people started asking me what I was doing, like Erica said, and they were noticing that my spark had come back and I was, you know, more alive than I'd been in years. And all these people were asking. So I kind of was the one, like, I wasn't asked to coach. I started thinking about coaching and all the reasons why I couldn't do it. But I also started thinking about the idea of creating my own community of my family and friends, because I'd been posting my sweaty selfie in somebody else's community and it was great. But I thought, like, what about if I were that person for other people? What if I had a community of all the people that are close in my life and I could get them to feel as good as I feel right now? And so I was thinking about coaching, but I had a ton of doubts. Like, I really considered myself to be drowning in mom life. Like, that was all I did. The industry that I work in outside of Beachbody is also the postpartum industry. So like, I am literally just swimming in mom life. And I thought, like, I have nothing exciting to show on Instagram. Like, I'm not hip and cool. Like, I'm a mom, and who wants to look at that? You know, I also thought, like, I didn't really know what direct sales were. I didn't really understand the whole MLM thing, but I just knew that that wasn't for me. Like, I didn't know what it was, but I just knew that that wasn't for me and I was never going to do it. And I also, to be honest, was like, just not somebody who was interested in posting my workouts online. Like, I would see these other women doing that and I'd be like, good for you, but like, not for me. So I just kind of thought and sat about it for a while, and ultimately, like, the whispers that were telling me to go for it were bigger than that. And so I jumped in, and a year later, honestly, like, it has given me more than I could ever imagine. And I'm just going to tell you what a couple of those things are. The first is accountability in my own journey. I've lost over 60 pounds now, which, like, I can't even say out loud without getting super lip quivery, because I still can't believe it myself. I am a notorious giver-upper. Excuse me. I was a notorious giver-upper on everything. Gym memberships, I'd get them and I'd never go. I'd start programs and I'd never finish. School, I was like flip-flopping around all the programs. Like, I was a giver-upper. This has forced me to continue to show up, because it's not just myself that I'm showing up for. I have women relying on me. I have this social media community that's watching me, and I'm not going to fail in front of all those people. And I'm going to continue to show up for these women who have put their trust in me. But I know I would not have had these results were it not for coaching. The second one is the community. Honestly, like, the most incredible community that I have created in my community every effort, but also through the sisterhood. I had no idea what I was getting involved with. We just got back from my first ever sisterhood retreat, and I'm telling you, my life was changed. And I know that there are other women on this call who will nod their heads that theirs were too. It was the most soul-filling weekend I've probably ever had, spent in the company of powerful friggin' business women who just want the best for themselves and for me. It was incredible. I could have never, ever known that was what I would be signing up for. I thought I was doing this alone, to be honest with you. And really, that's what it is. We meet for sunrises, we meet for sunsets, we meet for coffee and power hours. And it's just women who want to become the best version of themselves. And, like, that is what I want to be surrounded by in my life. The next thing is the financial aspect. Like Milan said, the money is obviously really important. Like, I'm sitting in my new trailer. Not that I bought this with Beachbody income necessarily, but I was able to buy this with my family because we have a third income now. So for the last year, we haven't had to touch my salary. It's just sat there. And that is the most unexpected blessing. I honestly had no idea. Like Milan said, the first month, I just pulled up my income progression. And the first month that I ever coached, I made just over $300, which was so incredible to me because that paid for groceries. And at the time, all I wanted to do was cover the cost of my Shakeology. So I was like, anything else is a huge bonus. And here we are, a year later, really starting to take some massive steps in planning big things for our future because we've brought in this third income, and the sky is really the limit. The fourth thing is that this is something that's just mine. So there's no yearly 2% pay increase. There's no waiting for a raise and having to prove to my boss that I'm worth it. There's no 2 weeks allotted vacation time. Like, I get to choose the success of this business. And that is so friggin' cool. Like, I get to show up every single day feeling proud and feeling fulfilled and getting to choose, okay, today, I'm having a rough go. I'm still going to show up, but maybe I'm not going to give it a 10. It's up to me, and if I want to be the top coach someday, that's also up to me. And I think that that's really, really awesome. So tonight, honestly, I want to just ask you guys to imagine what you would feel like with that community. How would the extra accountability change the game in your fitness journey? How would a third income change the game for your family? What would you do with a couple $100 extra? How would it feel to know that you can go and get your nails done and your toes done, and you can go get a day at the spa, and that's not going to mess with your family budget at all? How would you feel knowing that you're making a massive impact on other women? We just had our yearly coach summit. We're supposed to all be in person. It's a massive coach event, but it was virtual. And the top coach in the industry said something, and I just think about it every single day. She said, when you save a mama, you save a family. And it was like a punch in my stomach when she said that, because that's so true for my own situation. I really was saved. My family was saved by these programs. So that's great. But what's greater is the feeling of women messaging you, telling you you've saved them. When I get a message from one of the women that's joined me with her transformation picture, and she says, because of you, my life has changed, there's truly no other feeling in the world like that. I've never had that from any other job in my life, and I know I never will. So how would it feel to you to be that person for somebody else, knowing that you've changed a life, that you've made that kind of impact? So I'll pass it back to Courtney.
Thanks, guys. That is so incredible. Thank you, Erica, Milan, and to Erin for sharing your coach stories. We are going to keep it moving. My name is Courtney. For those of you that don't know me, Erin Yakubuski is my sister, and together we started the Sisterhood. And we're just so, so proud of all the women that are on this team and how incredible, and beautiful this has built since we started 3.5 years ago. I'm going to answer some questions. So we get a lot of the same questions, so we love to address them on this call. The very first one is, how much does it cost? So on a monthly basis, you pay a coach fee, which is $14.95 American. So I think it's like 19 Canadian or something like that. And that really gives you access to your customer database. It also gives you access to Beachbody's customer service. So you don't handle any phone calls, you don't process any returns, you don't do any of that kind of stuff. They really, if you're already a customer, I hope that you've experienced how incredible their customer service is. And really $15 fee for all that kind of stuff is invaluable. And that's really it. You're also encouraged to use their products. So on average, most coaches spend about $100 to $150 on their products every single month. There's also a huge recognition program that Beachbody has. And in order to qualify for that, you do need to be purchasing one product worth that amount on every single month. So that's there's a lot of details associated with it, but all in all, it's pretty much $15 for access to that coach office. Let's say you started enrolling women and signing them up, you can earn your commission with just paying that $15. If you didn't say want to participate in the recognition program, just so that you understand the brass tacks of it, that's the way it is. But the recognition program and sort of the path to leadership in this business is beautiful. And we really go through a lot of that in our training to help you better understand this compensation plan. I think that a lot of people don't understand it in the beginning, and that's something that we help you guys do. So yeah, the second one is, how much can you make? And I love that Milan and Erin both kind of addressed that tonight. It really is up to you. In this business, there's all sorts of coaches on our team. Some of them are what we consider a hobby coach. So they're really in this for the ultimate accountability by sharing their journey online, and they don't really enroll anybody. And so we call them a hobby coach. And guess what? Hobbies cost money. So if you are a hobby coach, yeah, you pay your $15 a month, you purchase your products, and you pay maybe $150 to do this business, and you don't make really anything. But if you want to build a business, the income is unlimited. It really is incredible how much this business can grow. You make a 20 to 40% commission off of your sales. And then as you build a team of other coaches that do this with you, you start to earn bonuses from Beachbody. So just as an example, when I first started, my first year was mostly just that commission. And then now, 3.5 years in, about 90% of my income is bonuses from Beachbody. So tonight's really about a lot income, which normally our call isn't, but I did have this prepared that I wanted to share, which is a 4-year income progression, just my April. So I started in February of 2018, and this is every April for 4 years. So I wanted to share that with you guys. But yeah, it's really up to you what you want to make in this business. And Erin's going to talk about how much time to invest. And so I think those two things really go along with this together. The last question I'll answer before I toss it off to Erin is, but is this a pyramid scheme though? And I love this question because I think that people are unsure, right? Network marketing has always sort of had a bad rap. So to just answer it really plainly, a pyramid scheme is something that you put money into but get no product or service in return. So just plainly, no, it's not a pyramid scheme. You get amazing products and services for your investment in this business. But also, I just encourage you to open up your mindset to the fact that what's up 2021? Here's an opportunity for you to start a business in your household for like $50 or $160, depending on how you enroll. It's an incredible opportunity that has afforded so many of us time freedom, financial freedom. And as the sisterhood is growing, we see that building. Like this next year, we have 2 teachers on our team. One is taking a full year leave. The other one is going part-time. Like this can do incredible things in your life. So while network marketing can sort of feel scary and vulnerable and like, oh, putting yourself out there, the rewards are incredible. And it's 2021. It's time we get the heck over that shit. So I'm going to pass it over to Erin.
Love that. Thanks, Court. Okay, next question is always around something that really holds people back the most in this business, and that's on social media. Like, but do I have to be out there on social media? I'm nervous to go out there on social media. Like, what will people think of me? And I really resonate because I absolutely was the same. I had a big government position. I was in management and I was worried about what people would think of me. Like, would it affect my reputation? Would people start talking about me? And ultimately, at this point, guys, I look at social media not as a way to like scroll and snoop in on people, but as a way to reach potential clients. Social media is now my business tool. I don't spend time just scrolling on social media. I'm on social media to help and inspire other people. And when I looked at social media as a way to help people, I realized the more I was able to genuinely share myself and my story on social media, the more I was able to connect with women, the more I was able to help women. And if I wasn't able to actually put myself out there, I wasn't really going to help anybody. So I knew that if I had the courage enough to share a little bit, I could actually help people. And ultimately, that's what this is all about. It's about having that impact that Erin was talking about, those amazing messages from people saying you've transformed their life. But you have to have the courage a little bit to share yourself on social media. For me, what I found in the workplace is that I shared myself in a way that was me, that was genuine, that was authentic. It wasn't me as like a billboard or me as trying to be some influencer. It was me, Erin Yakubuski, the same Erin that would show up at work as a manager. So that if any of my like senior leaders or people at work saw me or came across my page online, they'd be like, yeah, that's Erin. And so it wasn't like salesy or yucky, or I didn't feel gross sharing it because it was genuine to me. And I did it in a way that was like authentic to me. And ultimately, that's what this business is. You choose how you portray yourself. You choose how you come across. You choose your business, your brand, all of that, which is kind of exciting and super beautiful. The next question we get often is like, how much time do I have to put to this? Every single one of us, when we started, didn't feel like we had room on our plate to add more. A lot of us are busy working moms. We have other jobs, nurses, like teachers, etc. We all have other things. We all fill our time with other things at this point, right? Ultimately, just like what Courtney said, and Erin, you can make this business as big or as small as you want it to be. If you want this to be more of a hobby, it's not really going to take any more time than you just doing your workout. If you want to make 7 figures doing this business this year, which you can, it's obviously going to take more of your time. What I would really recommend is doing a little bit of a time audit on yourself and having some like genuine vulnerability, honesty with yourself and how you're spending your time. So that would look at like putting on a piece of paper, like just a lined piece of paper from the hour you wake up to the hour you go to bed, and filling in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way to the when you go to bed, and seeing like, what do you do with your time? Are you actually spending a lot of time watching TV or scrolling or just like vegging, hanging out? Ultimately, that's what I did. I decided to take the time that I would sit and watch Grey's Anatomy and sloth on the couch at night once my kids went to bed between 8 and 10 and devote it to helping women instead. And guess what? At the end of the night, instead of feeling exhausted and slothy, I felt inspired and energized and passionate. It was the best time swap I've ever done. So figure out how much time you can devote to this. If you can find even a few 15, 20-minute blocks through your day to help and connect with some people, you can do this business. Last question is, how do you get started? And ultimately, this business is about you. First and foremost, about you going all in on these programs and products, going all in on your health and fitness, taking care of you. The number one priority in this business is yourself. So if you're looking at yourself and you're saying, oh, I'm not ready to do this business, I'm not at my goal, or I haven't had a transformation, or I'm not where I want to be, I want to focus on me first. Guys, that's what this job is. This job is you focusing on you. This job is you going all in on yourself, all in on these programs, and having that like utmost accountability of helping other people in the same way. So the first and foremost to get started, you need to go all in on a program. You need to go all in on you, and like share that with your friends and family. Start sharing your journey authentically, sharing what you're doing, sharing your good days, your bad days, your ups and your downs. And that is what is relatable. In the same time, we also do a group mentorship session. So all of us together each month, any new coaches come together in a chat pod, and we'll train you on how to share naturally on social media, how to navigate the back office, how to invite people without feeling salesy. We'll share all of that. Our community is very collaborative. This isn't like I'm looking to be the most successful and make the most money. Ever. This community is, how can we all together be our best, and how can I share more of what I'm doing to help each other? So our group mentorship starts at the beginning of August. It's perfect timing to join in, and we will all be there to support and guide you through this business. So I'm going to pass it back to Court to close it off.
Yeah, thank you guys, and appreciate you guys coming here tonight. I think often, and our coach on our team says this all the time, and I just love it. So I'm going to repeat her words. Jen, she says that oftentimes when we're faced with an opportunity or something that we haven't done, we really think about the reasons why we shouldn't do it or why we can't do it. And so I want you to walk away from this call tonight and think about what would you be good at? How could you be good at this? You know, what would this do for your life? What's the positive things that this could bring into your life? I want you to think about that. And yeah, reach out to the person who asked you to come to the call. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a great night, and appreciate you taking the time to listen in.